Hi y'all, welcome to my channel Divinely Transformed. I'm Lisa, and yes, I'm very sick. So it's just a quick video, let you know, yes, I have a sinus infection and a double ear infection, and I got medicine, and I'm doing better, but I still feel like shit. But that's really not the full reason why I'm doing this video. The full reason I'm doing this video is because yesterday I just kept feeling this nagging feeling of multiple people in the collective, just layers of people in pain, people who are tired, and people who are worn the fuck out. Some of y'all are sick and hurt, you know, just like me. All at the same time, something, bam. It's a challenge, but it's to get us in a still, quiet place so that we can be dealt with accordingly the ways that we need to in order to become the people that we're supposed to be. But this video is about those who are in the dark night of the soul, those who have had something happen to them and they don't understand what happened to them on the inside, and they're not telling anybody about it, and they're not making any changes in their life to reflect what happened, mostly because they don't even understand what the fuck happened to them. They just know that they just went through some really fucking scary shit that they wouldn't wish upon anybody inside themselves. And then they conquered some things, and then they just kept their lives the same. They did not make any changes in their life to reflect the changes on the inside. And it was because they didn't understand. It's when you spend your whole life in the physical world and all you know is what you see and what you experience in your life, and you think that that's really all there is. Well, there's so much more. And then they figured it out that there is so much more, but then I think part of them was just so fucking afraid of everything that happened that maybe they just went crazy and made it all up. No, that shit was real, dude. Alright? I don't know who needed to hear that, but that was all real. And now that you're different on the inside, what are you going to do to reflect those changes on the outside? You can't continue to keep yourself stuck in situations that make you feel like shit, take your power away from you, that make you feel like less of a person, etc. If you're giving more to a situation than you're receiving back, it's toxic. And if a person's always really negative and they make fun of you, they don't support you or hold you back or say you'll never be able to do this or that or whatever, those kinds of people you don't need, because they ain't going nowhere either, and they don't want you to go anywhere without them. And that's just the truth. You have to let them go. And sometimes it's really hard because sometimes you're in a real need-based relationship with them. Like, for example, what if that person's your mom or your dad or the love of your life or your child? How committed to yourself are you? Who would you cut off if you had to? Someone in your life was continually not treating you correctly. And you have to walk away for your own self. Doesn't fucking matter who it is, dude. If it's your own kid and they make you feel like shit, and they treat you like shit, and you've exhausted all your fucking possibilities, what else can you do? Nothing. You have to let it go. In love and respect and honor and dignity. You know? Because there isn't anything you can do. These are some really tough connections to let go of because they're the connections that we're often the closest to that blind us. The ones that we thought were the most valuable, that perhaps they were valuable only in the way of having them be your greatest lesson and biggest challenge to overcome. But once you do, just imagine the benefits that start coming your way when you overcome really tough decisions like that. Like, for example, I don't have contact with a couple of my kids as I can't. It's not because of, well, it's not because of, my parenting. It was my child. She was mentally unstable, and so she was violent, and she attempted to kill me multiple times. I mean, she's extremely traumatized, and she was fighting me, I believe, because she wanted me to save her, and I couldn't save her. So I didn't know that I could. I wanted to. And then I did save her in a way, and then I got her out of this situation, but this situation never left her. So I can't go there with her until she comes out of those low vibrations. I have another son that I don't talk to, and that's not exactly my fault either. I mean, it takes two to tango, and I definitely burned a bridge, and he definitely made a choice to keep my child from me when I ended a relationship. And there's really not much I could do about that. Yes, I hold a responsibility for that. No, I don't blame myself for that. It's just karma. And it was all pre-planned for me before I was even born because of past life complications and issues with me as a mother and having a child. So Because the last life I only got to have one child, and that didn't end very well. And this life I got to have 5 children, but I only really got to raise one to adulthood. And that was just, shit happens. And sometimes it's just taken from you. And sometimes you just have to find a reason to go on anyway. I've had a dream many years ago by my mom's best friend. Her name was Patty. She died many years back. And a year or two after she died, I think, or maybe it was several years after she died, I'm not sure when, but I had a dream, and I was in a dark room, and there was a window, and it was dark, and then the window didn't have a curtain whenever the lightning cracked and the thunder went. And when the lightning happened, I got to see Patty, and she looked dead, obviously, but she didn't look alive, right? But I could still tell it was her, and she didn't look like horror movie grotesque or anything like that. But anyhow, the lightning went again and showed her face longer, and she said to me, she says, "What if justice was taken from you?" And I got a glimpse of my son, Donovan, my second son, and then I woke up. There was some secrets revealed about Donovan, but that dream was multi-layered, okay? It wasn't just about that particular secret. It was about so much more than that. It was like a riddle. It was my lifelong riddle, because justice was taken from me. It was removed from me because I was born under a Jupiter and Saturn retrograde. So it was taken from me, okay? But it was taken from me for a reason. And for the reason is to clear the karma and to ascend. And I've cleared a lot of karma, a lot of ancestral karma, a lot of past karma from this lifetime, a lot of karma from past lifetimes. It's been kind of crazy, but the more that I'm clearing, the more that I'm free, the more that I'm happy. So it's just about having the strength to do what's best for you, to do what you want, to do what you love. And don't be that person in the garden at the gate, dreaming about what's beyond the gate and never going beyond the gate, whether it be for your love, your career, or anything in your life, all of the above, any of it, all of it, whatever. Don't be that person who didn't take a chance. Because that fear that holds you back will create regret for you later. Holding yourself back from happiness, that's not a virtue. It's abusive. Being self-restrictive is abusive. And I say that and I hurt inside because I do that to myself too because of the food. I restrict food sometimes, a lot of times, most of the time. Well, I'm trying not to, like now that I'm aware of it, but before is like I would restrict food whenever I felt like it. And I would do it to an abusive extreme. And that's just one area that, we can do that. We can restrict ourselves from our happiness. Just be like, I just can't do it again. I was hurt really bad the last time. If it goes bad again, it'll kill me. And then not going past that fear, that will consume you. You have to take the chance. But then you also have to have the will to make sure that it's not going to turn bad. And how do you do that? You make sure you have the tools. What are the tools? Communication, building, give and take, equal reciprocation. With kindness. I don't know who needed to hear that, but it just about killed me to bring this message. Because I'm in with y'all too. Like, I'm hurting myself too sometimes. And I'm not gonna stay there. I'm determined to get out of there. So, are you determined to get out of there? Like, for me, it's like a life and death situation. But, I mean, for you, it's like, it may be, it may not be. It might just be something like, oh, well, I kept myself from love, and then I just continued to exist, and then I just lived the rest of my life in mediocrity and whatever. Like, that's just as detrimental as anything else. So don't do it to yourself. If you have a dream, take practical steps towards that dream. If you don't know what they are, ask. Talk to somebody. Figure it out. There's ways. But don't sell yourself short by settling, by not doing what you love, by not pursuing who you love. So that's the message. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon when I'm better.